Alright, I'm back. So, in the last video I was talking about, selling your soul. And, realizing that you didn't never sell it. It was never sold. You was bamboozled. You got bamboozled, my friends. And I hate calling you guys my friends because you guys ain't my friends. I mean, for real. You guys ain't my friends. You guys ain't my family. You guys ain't shit. Because anybody that puts that much effort into trying to destroy one person with a whole community of motherfuckers, that is no friend. That is a foe. And you guys are all foes. I mean, even the women. They ask, if your ex comes back, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to her? Or would you go back to an ex? Hell no, I don't go backwards. You crazy. Done lost your rabid mind again. Nah, I don't go backwards. I can honestly say, yes, I love them. I love them because they taught me something. They taught me that I can endure more than they could dish out, than anybody could dish out. They showed me that even though they did the slimiest shit, like knowing that I was sitting outside a tent or sitting in a hotel room that they were next to, and then being able to fucking screw somebody, and knowing that how I felt for them, and they were okay with that. Well, some of them were okay with it. But yeah, that's a betrayal that can never, ever, ever be forgiven. Hell no, I wouldn't forgive somebody and go back to them. Man, every single woman that I've ever dated, these dirty ass motherfuckers have had them pent up in a hotel room or wherever I was at, screwing them, and they was okay with it. They was okay with it. And they did it. And they didn't have no problem making noise and letting me know that they were there. You know how dirty and slimy and fucking foul that is? But you know what, it's cool. I ain't mad at you. I just don't forgive you. Because it is not my responsibility to forgive you guys. And every time I drive the truth, you hear a plane come over. I don't forgive. That's God's place to forgive. My place is to say, you a dirty ass motherfucker. That's my place. And I will gladly say that to your face, online, in a fucking script, in a book, in a letter. I don't care where it is, I'll say it. Because that's dirty. I would never harm somebody that I claim to love in that kind of way. That is not only disrespectful and foul and belittling, not only to me, but to yourselves as well. So, now that we're on that little situation, I know that it was magic and voodoo and fucking all that other shit. And I know who the main corporates are. So we're going to talk about those guys. I'm not going to mention the wives' names or nothing like that, or the girls that I've dated that did that slimy shit. But we are going to talk about the motherfuckers that try to be me. Well, let's start off with the white boy that thinks he can do what I do. So the white boy is Brandon McFadden. Now this motherfucker right here, U.S. Air Force, He's a military brat. Flunked out of the Air Force. So this dude, I met him and, you know, he was all sad and shit, saying that so they stole his laptop and he didn't want the rest of his shit to be stolen. And, you know, and I was like, you know what? I used to carry a big sword. And I told him, you know what, bro? I was like, listen, you get some sleep. I'll stand guard, I'll watch your shit, and if anybody comes near you, I'll chop their hands off. So I let this fool sleep for 12 hours. About 11 hours. And I was cool with that because, you know what, I was doing my job, I was helping, you know, I was watching somebody's stuff. I was doing my shit. And when he wakes up the next morning, he pulls his little cart over, and this mother goes to the bottom of his cart and he pulls out his laptop and he starts typing away. The same laptop he said he was missing, that they stole. So I'm like, okay, and I sat there, and then I don't know what he was typing, but then all of a sudden, it was gone. I wasn't even mad no more. And, you know, I told him, you know, I'll see you around, you know, and I left. But he knew. He knew what he did. He sure did. So that's Brandon McFadden. And, you know, and we became friends. He used to go to the airport, and he's the one that clued me into the airport situation, where you can go into the family bathroom and touch that the little black dot, you know, the sensor. You touch it like a certain amount of times, and then flush the toilet, and then touch a certain amount of times, and flush the toilet, and then again do the same. You do it 3 times, and then the door opens. And what do you know? Somebody pops out. A girl. Or a guy, whatever you choose. And you get to sit in there and screw them, and then, you know, put them back in the box and go away. Go out of there. The next guy comes in and does the thing. It was like a vending machine. Really. Pretty awesome. I mean, it was crazy. It was like, so I went into the bathroom one day, and God told me, do this. And I did it. And all I heard was Brandon say, fuck, in the airport. He did it. And I heard a click, and then I heard another click. Like it opened, and then it locked itself again. Then I was laughing. I was like, this dirty motherfucker. Alright, I see you. So, we got into a discussion that morning. We went over to Jack in the Box in Sunny Slope. And this white boy, he was mad as fuck. He looked at him, he's like, you're a fucking child molester. And I was pissed. I was like, man, don't fucking talk shit like that to him. Who the fuck do you think you are? And we was gonna fight this white boy inside this Jack in the Box. But he was with his family, his kids and his girl. And so so I was like, nah, we're good, you know. And Brandon, he was like all mad. I ain't no child molester. He's like, oh, I'll fuck you up. And then I didn't understand Brandon's reaction. Now, let's fast forward. I asked him if he knew my wife. He's like, no, I never met her before in my life. She's like, is she pretty? He's like, yeah, she's all right. She's tripping. She left me for a fucking kid. You know. He's like, no, I never met her before. So fast forward about 2 weeks because I felt something. Thought there was a lie there. So one day I'm in the zone. Let me get back to the story. I'll be right back. Hold up.